braved the outdoors by myself during winter to meet a few others in a meetup at the Wadsworth Atheneum in Hartford, Connecticut. This was a really nice way to spend an afternoon. We wandered through the museum, pausing when something caught our eyes. I did quick pencil sketches while at the museum, and then I painted them in my sketchbook spread at home. This first piece is called Sound Suit by Nick Cave from 2009. It's made from found rugs and knitted yarn and metal armature, and I read that Cave has made at least 500 of these sound suits throughout his career, and he's named them that for the sound that they create when moving. I used Inktense pencils for this. They're very fun to use. They're similar to watercolor pencils in that you can draw with them like colored pencils, and then you activate them by wetting the pigment, and then once they've dried after that, the color is permanent. And I love the intense colors that they create. I've seen the next piece that I lingered on many times, but I always notice something new. It's Salvador Dali's Apparition of Face and Fruit Dish on a Beach from 1938, and it's an oil on canvas. I focused on the fruit dish/face and put in some fine liner lines before adding color with the Inktense pencils. Quoting from the museum's placard to explain it, it says, "At first glance, the spectator sees a desolate beach. As the viewer studies the work, a face appears, then a dish filled with pears, then the profile of a dog. These images are fragmented further as the dog's color becomes bridge and his head a hill. The instability of appearances fascinated Dali, who sought to evoke the world of the unconscious by creating these simultaneous images. I had the uncanny feeling a person was emerging from my doodle as I sketched the little baby whose head forms the figure's left eye. So it was really fun to read the museum's explanation of Dali's goals. I focused in on a little section of the goat in the tree in Marc Chagall's Autumn in the Village, an oil on canvas from 1939 to 1945. You'll see, though, that the foliage spreads out to other parts of my spread a little bit later in the video. This next little piece was a figure in a cabinet of art and curiosity. These types of cabinets were created in the 16th and 17th centuries and would be filled with a diverse collection of objects that people could see and touch to learn about the world. And as you saw, I had glued down my ticket to the museum at the bottom of this side of the spread. I went on a Saturday and it was free, and I thought it was pretty fun to put my ticket in as part of the spread and overlap it a little bit with the artwork. This self-portrait of Vincent van Gogh is from circa 1887 and is an oil on canvas. I fixed up my pencil sketch a little bit before I turned to fine liners and the Inktense pencils I've been using. I said in the intro that I braved the outdoors by myself. Pretty heroic, right? It's just that I'm a homebody by nature, and that is doubly, triply, quadruply true during the winter. I was really glad to make the effort, though. Have you guys heard of Meetup before? It's a website that lets you meet up with local people based on just about any interest you could think of. I had searched the site for art-related groups, and I was excited when this museum trip was scheduled, and I actually showed up, which made it really work out for the best. This dragon head is from a tile from a Han Dynasty tomb, circa the 1st century BCE. It's made of gray earthenware and pigments. According to the museum placard, the exact meaning of the dragon is unknown, but, quote, in Chinese belief, the dragon is an auspicious creature connected with rain and the beneficent forces of nature. It is also a creature that can transport shamans on ecstatic journeys to visit deities in heaven. And then when I looked at my spread, I decided that I wanted the foliage that was inspired by the Chagall painting to spread across the entire top of the spread. And I like how that ended up looking, and it sort of unifies everything at least a bit. And then it was done, but I worked on the page before it and bled through and damaged my Van Gogh. So I ended up covering his forehead and hair with some gouache. And then I also ended up adding some green gouache to the foliage as well. And with that, my spread inspired by my visit to the Wadsworth is complete. And well, I looked at that doodle and really liked the dark green background I had put around her. She's Baba Yaga, by the way. And then I added some dark green background around my Van Gogh that bled into the other areas of my spread. And then it's done. For real, it's done. Please let me know what you think. What artists inspire you to create? I would love to hear. Thanks so much for watching.